And the horses have reached a starting gate. It's post time. And they're off. Electric Sense bounces out on top. Bourbon with Ginger is away well. Those two go 1-2. Electric Sense is fleet-footed early and opens up to lead by 2.5 lengths.
Do you pre-plan your calls for finish lines? Do you have anything in mind?
I definitely, not every race do I have a line for every horse. A race like the Derby, I try to. But, obviously you got to put it in your brain, and then you got to remember to pull it out. Or, sometimes the race doesn't really shake out the way you think, so nothing comes out.
Well,
but, yeah.
If you need any ideas, I've got some for you.
Okay.
Winning is his forte.
My buddies, I can't wait to tell my friend Nick that, who said that was his idea. He said that to me, yeah.
Not once, not twice, tap it thrice.
Okay.
Angel of Empire comes from the heavens.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Jesus Christ, it's reincarnate.
I don't know if I'd have a job after that one.
Good Lord, he's miles ahead. Skinner, I barely know her.
Oh, God.
Ray's Cane wins, and chicken fingers are on the menu at Churchill Downs.
They'd go for that if there was a sponsorship deal.
Yeah, this one, though, could really play off. And the sun thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes.
Yeah, get a little Garth Brooks going.
Yeah, especially in the rain.
Yeah.
That could play into it, too. Domo Origato, Derma Sidagate. I definitely butchered that one.
It is Derma Sotogake.
Sotogake. That one.
Sotogake.
Yeah. 2 fills, 1 champion. Huh?
That's not bad. You're close on that
Still, Electric Sense. The lead is 3. Acacia Help Me running up on the outside with Sonia Dor, but here's the wire, and Electric Sense gate to wire.
The mechanics of calling a race. Mm-hmm. Which milestones are you like, I got to check these boxes every time I'm making a call?
I do a lot of stuff in the morning where I go through and look at the past performances, check on pronunciations of names, do a little bit of research there. Once that's out of the way, crunch time is about 10 minutes to post. The minute the jockeys are legged up onto the horse, and I can see their silks, and I can start to color what they're wearing and put them to memory. So it's really that 10-minute cutoff for day in and day out racing. Mm-hmm. A race like the Derby, we were working on that for weeks, right? But every other race is 10 minutes.
So I noticed you have a bunch of Ricolas over there.
Yeah.
So have you ever had to call in sick? How do you keep the pipes fresh for a grind like this?
Sure. Knock on wood. I've never had to call in sick. I do like Ricolas the most. I've tested all the cough drops out there. They are the best. And it can't be the sugar-free. In case you're interested, it's got to be the regular.
Good to know.
It's really about drinking a lot of water, Ricolas, and you can sort of strain your voice if you don't take care of it just by talking the wrong way or shouting or doing things like that. Beginning of the meet is tough because Derby is week 1. I have not called races for a good 5 or 6 months, so it's always a bit of an adjustment. So I tried a couple of different things this year, doing some vocal stuff for the past week. But even still, Saturday night on opening night, I felt it. Yeah.
What's the coolest part of this job?
As a racing fan, to be here and to see good racing, good horses, and to be able to talk about it is pretty cool. So I like, one of the things I like most about the job is I think racing is a very exciting sport and in many ways is misunderstood. And so as an announcer, if I can sort of convey the stories and the dramas that are happening during the race, to me that's the coolest part. And I don't mind that a little bit of a personal flair comes into the calls here or there because I'm a racing fan first, and maybe that'll make somebody else out there a racing fan someday too. Yeah.
Do you remember when you learned how to identify the moves? And because I know it does take some time. Do you remember where you were as a kid growing up or anything like that? Clicked?
When I was a kid, I used to pretend to call races all the time. I mean, I raced marbles. I raced around the circle of my parents' yard on my bike like I was a jockey, and I'd always call the race. And so I sort of, not that I was practicing to be a race caller, but sort of got a feel for the rhythm of that when I was real young. And now it is, I watch every replay of every race we run. I'll go back and watch past races here or there as well, and just always try and find something to work on or think about for that day, and different ways of describing something. Or I'm trying to think. Like the other, so on Saturday night, opening night, I didn't like how my voice sounded for a few of the races, so I made a note like, start a little bit lower, get a more fuller sound to start the race, rather than when you start high, you're sort of,
You can't go any higher.
Yeah, exactly. So just stuff like that. Yeah.
Is I've heard you say that when you read a program, you can kind of see how a race is going to unfold, and kind of feel like, all right, this is how I see things going. So how do you see the Derby unfolded now that we've got post positions?
There's going to be 2 or 3 horses for sure toward the inside that are probably going to go, meaning the jockey's going to push for speed. And then there's a couple from the outside that are probably going to go, maybe not quite as certain with those. So I'm expecting 3 or 4 of them looking for the lead early, which means the pace is probably going to be quick. It's hard to envision this pace being slow now, unless 2 or 3 riders decide to change tactics and pull back. So it's going to be a quick pace, which is going to set up a lot of movement on the far turn and get tight on time.
Do you think that benefits one of those horses?
I think Tapit, Trice, and Forte. I'm going to draw the silk so I'll answer that. Tapit, Trice, and Forte are they're going to benefit greatly from it because it's going to be a really fast pace. They're going to come from off it, and as long as they get trips, they're probably both going to run their race. Angel of Empire too. He'd be the other one. Let me do this right quick.
Yeah, do what you do.
On the track for the 3rd race today, double exacta, trifecta, superfecta, pick 3, and high 5 wagering. Post time in 11 minutes. So yeah, I think it'll just be a quick pace, and they'll be coming from behind. Go ahead, I can answer that.
No, I'm just watching you mark up because I think some of the hardest part is just identifying, on the far side of the track.
Electric sense, electric sense, electric sense. Bourbon with ginger, bourbon with ginger, bourbon with ginger, electric sense, and Sonia Door, Music Man Sandy, Acacia, help me.